like a misfit. Everything inside you is dark and twisted. Oh, but it's okay to be different. Cause baby, so am I, so am I. Hey everyone, how's it going? This is the real Randy Chavez coming at you today with a VeVe, OMI, DEFINITY, DEVVE, daCat update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. For not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon, smashing that super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. Yeah, we got a bit to go over. I'm actually also going to something I didn't mention because I didn't see it until after I had already made the thumbnail and after I posted it. Let's also talk about the new VeVe announcement / update. It looks pretty cool. And I'll go over that as soon as I download this. Yeah, they have a new announcement, and it looks like different tech, and it looks like different stuff. Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? I don't know. Is it going to be meh? It's called Snap to Location. Sushi cars from Tokidoki. Okay, so what is Snap to Location? Well, let's have a look. Let's talk about it. Snap to Location has arrived. VeVe is introducing a new, powerful feature that changes how digital collectibles connect inside the app, and sushi cars from Tokidoki are the first to bring it to life. Snap to Location allows... Oh, God, what just happened? What just happened? My screen is not doing a thing. Okay, are we good? We're good. Okay. Snap to Location allows a collectible to automatically lock into designated zones on another collectible. Move into proximity, and it snaps perfectly into place, just like that. No endless repositioning, no frustrating micro adjustments in AR, just clean, intentional placement designed for display. This is more than a feature update. It's a new foundation for connected collecting. Tell me this wasn't written by ChatGPT. 100% was. It's also a smarter way to build an AR. See, the smart way, but augmented reality opens incredible possibilities, and it also demands precision. Anyone who's staged multiple collectibles in AR understands the challenge. Yeah, it's rough. That's why a lot of people don't do any of the VeVeverse stuff. It's insanely hard to build. Aligning angles, adjusting spacing, nudging pieces into position until everything feels right. Snap to Location removes that friction. With sushi cars, each vehicle can be driven in AR using VeVe's joystick controls and interactive steering animation. When you're ready to display, move the car toward the sushi car's diorama, and it locks into one of 10 dedicated snap zones. The diorama itself is a treadmill conveyor belt scene, constantly rolling forward like sushi at your favorite restaurant. Up to 10 cars can snap into position at once. Each one activates driving style display animations as it cruises the belt. The result feels dynamic and intentional. If we take a look at the app, I will finish the article in a minute, but I want to go over just some of the stuff here. It comes out on March 7th, so it's about 2.5 days away. $15 per thing. And why I like the $15 thing is because you had Ren and Stimpy that had $25 per blind box, and let's see how much it did. It didn't do that much. I was very, very surprised at this in a couple of different ways. So as this decides to go, and we can see the different things on here, which I don't know if we will, because sometimes the app's a little slow. Also, we're gonna put you up there. We're gonna put you on here because my phone needs to be charged. This one had sold. I had actually sold 1,000 over there, so it did do 25, 26,000, give or take. Okay, not horrible, not bad. But the unbreakable ones, like these things, these sold out. These I would have lost that bet. Like I would have lost that bet like nobody's business. What, 37.30? $55,000 made. More than double of what Ren and Stimpy did. This Toby, no name, I don't want to say no name. I'm sure it has thousands of probably tens of thousands of fans outside of there, but I never heard of it before. Everyone that grew up in the 90s heard of Ren and Stimpy. Now, I guess just hearing about something doesn't mean that you're actually going to do it. But anyway, one of the biggest licenses that we have made $25,000 because it was $25 per. One of the reasons is because it was $25 per blind box. This The license that I never really heard of before this, or before VeVe, $55,000. Now, there was a little bit of marketing. There was a physical aspect to it as well, but I think the $15 per blind box really helped. And I think there's Running Man. Okay, that's on the 8th. Okay, Running Man. That actually did well last time as well. This is one of the things I might actually collect because it is the first of its kind. There's a bunch of cars, there's a diorama, and Tokidoki, which if anyone's ever gone to a convention, whether it's DesignerCon, San Diego, New York Comic Con, any of all that, aside from VeVe, the only other license that VeVe has, obviously Marvel, Disney, but only other license that has a line around the booth is the Tokidoki peeps. They go super hard for it. And yeah, this would be really cool. Imagine going and having this type of diorama at the Tokidoki booth. Again, their fans are a little crazy in the best way. I mean that. So this might actually be one of the things that I complete the whole set. I do have a decent amount of them now. There's 4,230 of these. Are all of these going to sell, making $63,000? I don't know. Again, I'm going to say probably not, but also, you know, maybe. Also, out of the 4,230, 1,500 of them are craftable things. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's actually only 14. So it's 2,800 plus 200 secret rare. There's actually only 3,000 of these. And out of the 3,000 of these, 270 are being withheld. So that's how you get the 4,230, you know, plus the 15, you know, the 1,500 of the crafted uncommon. So actually 2,000, or I'm sorry, 3,000 and so actually $40,000. So this I actually do expect to sell out at some point because again, first of its kind, there's craftable stuff. Even the rares are 1 of 700, so there's not like a ton of them. Now, I don't expect these all because the secret rare is 1 of 200. So I don't expect all these sell out like again right at once, and I don't expect these to be over retail. I'm gonna say that the little Maki machine, that one's of course that's like the best looking one. Aside from that, the Ebi GT, that little guy right there, I want that one. The Turbo Toro looks fine, and these two look okay. You know, they're what they are. But the Ebi GT, yeah, that little guy looks angry. He's got some road rage. I want him. Hopefully that little guy. Again, I don't expect the rares to be really above retail. Some of them might be at retail, but the Ebi GT you kind of want. He looks really cool. If some of these are going, if they're going for like $3, I don't expect them to go for that cheap. But if the Ebi GT is going for like $3, I'll buy them all. I'll buy every single one of them for $3 because that looks cool. That looks fun. And it's a rare. So you get some MCP for it. Give me 1 sec. Warning, who's in control? Fact. I don't really want to do that. Anyway, let's continue on with the actual article here. Before we do, let me go in and give Mother Fudger. Okay, there we go. Penguin saying clean shave baby face. Hello. Oh, hello. Yeah, I had a bit of a beard and there was a lot of gray in there, and some people let me know it. So I was like, okay, we're going to shave that, and we're going to not look 45, and we're going to actually look my age. And if you said looking good, brother, very professional looking, looking like we just signed a huge deal. Talking about you? You talking about me? You talking about VeVe? Because we do have a Nasdaq update, which we will get to, I promise. But yeah, I mean, I'm always working deals. I'm always getting that bread. I'm always trying to. I'm working every second of my waking life, which is really fun. Not gonna lie. Boots said, "What's up?" I had Violetta Chacon on the other day. I have to Violetta. I gotta give a message to. Because we had fudge, I forgot to message this other person back. Processing doesn't make sense. See if it makes some news tomorrow. Late here, trying to rest. She's one of the people that we have the same, like, we work all the time, and we like to get things done. It's like, number go up. It's like, why do certain video games do well? Like, why is it easier at the beginning of the video game? Because, number go up. Like, they want people to get addicted to the game. That's why after your first battle with a rival in Pokemon, you get an instant level up. Oh, that was great. I leveled up. And then you get a task to go to Viridian City, to go to the mart and pick up a parcel for Oak. So you go there, and by the time you go there and come back, you have a bunch of battles and you get another level up. That's great. So now you're at level 7. It's awesome. In business, it's the same way. You keep on working, you keep on grinding, number go up, bank account, deals, network. It's good. What's up, Booth? Real, I saw the Unbreakable sold out today, and there's like 440 floor. I was like, what? Yeah, the Unbreakable stuff is, again, that came out of left field. Like, that just straight up William Holden. That is a Gilmore Girls reference, but yeah, out of left field. I didn't expect that, but also, again, the VeVe gains more users. The thumbnail for this, we got an extra 300 users last week. How many of those came in because of Toby? I don't know. Probably a few. Probably a couple. It's like, it's like they really want, like the Marvel people really want Doomsday event, Avengers Doomsday to do really well. MODOK will appear in Avengers Doomsday. Like, I don't think that's really going to get anybody that wasn't going to go now into the seat. Like Howard the Duck back in Doomsday. It's like, okay, I would go because of Howard. I mean, I'm going to go anyway, but I understand that there's some people that's going to go because of certain things. That, how many of these people are here because of Toby? New signups? Probably a couple, maybe. But again, 300 new people this week, 100 new people the week before that, 1,600 the week before that. And again, that does coincide with the Nasdaq announcement, or the Nasdaq update that we have. So we'll keep that going. It looks like Sailor Moon. That's probably why, though. Yeah. This does look a little, I don't know how to call it. A little bit of fan service. Pizza Detective 3D Comics. Give me 1 second. Pizza Detective 3D Comics. It says second edition comic is only 2 minted, but I've seen over 4 listed in the market at one time. Wait, what's the Pizza Detective? All right, hold on. We got to go to Pizza Detective here real quick. Hank Howard, Pizza Detective. I don't know what they are. I'm gonna get one of them though. So they're $1.69, but what is 14,000 times 0.000125? That's $1.75 on Stacker, but it's $1.69 over here. And I have no gems. So I will actually not buy that on here. And there's no rare. Okay, that's interesting. Sorry, we're also going to see the Pizza Detective. Was it 15,000? I think that's not a lot. That's $2. Okay. I guess we're going to go on Stacker. Oh, shoot. If I type in pizza, it's probably going to get the pizza dog. Oh, there's 2 of them? There's number 1 and number 2. Okay, so number 2 is... What the heck is with these Pizza Detective things? There's no rares. So this is what we're talking about. Somebody commented about that, and I don't... Oh, there's variants. And there's a... Okay. All right, I'm tripping here. Yep, okay, $1.70. Okay, I'm gonna get an uncommon for $1.70. I have no idea what Pizza Detective is. I'm going to read it though after I buy it. And then I'm probably gonna keep it forever because there's no point in selling something that's $1.70. Okay. Anyway, let me go back to that thing on YouTube. Not sure. Just bought an uncommon number 1 to read. Find a vampire. What up? Meow, meow, meow. That saying, yo, what up? Okay, so let's get back to the article. Oh gosh, I have so many tabs open. I don't mean to. Oh, there's stuff that I should go over later. All right, we're going to go back to this article. Let's go back to the beginning. All right, smarter way to build an AR. In his location. Okay. With sushi cars, each vehicle can be driven in AR using VeVe's joystick controls and interactive steering animation. When you're ready to display, move. Okay, I read that. 10 cars. Snap to location changes how we think about design from day one. We can now build collectibles knowing they will connect to other pieces in intentional ways. That allows us to create environments, scenes, and modular displays that feel cohesive and dynamic. It opens the door to a new kind of storytelling through collectibles. That's what David Hart, head of production at VeVe, explains how this changes the creative approach. We're no longer designing single pieces in isolation. We're designing ecosystems. Again, ChatGPT, they're going to credit that with us here. I don't know. Tokidoki in digital form. Sushi cars are a natural fit for this innovation. VeVe's relationship with Tokidoki spans years, from Mermicornos to Kawaii All-Stars to Dragon Girl statues by Simone Legno. We have brought this iconic universe into digital format with care and authenticity. Simone is not only the co-founder of Tokidoki, he's a longstanding partner of VeVe, and his unmistakable style defines the world collectors love. Tokidoki blends cute, rebellious in a way that feels instantly recognizable. That energy translates beautifully in an interactive 3D collectible. Each sushi car is animated and remote drivable inside the VeVe app. When you steer, the driver signals the direction of the turn, characters respond, the wheels spin, the scene feels alive. David Yu, CEO and co-founder of VeVe, reflects on the partnership, saying, Tokidoki is an incredible partner. We were thrilled to take on something so many people already love, those physical sushi cars, and put our spin on it. Literally, being able to drive them, animate them, and now connect them into a living display shows what digital collecting can unlock. End quote. Digital does not replace physical collecting, it expands it. It adds movement to art that once stayed still, adds interaction to pieces that once sat on a shelf, and adds the ability to connect collectibles into evolving displays. ChatGPT is all over this, pushing the boundaries of interactivity. Snap to location represents a broader evolution for VeVe. We continue to invest in features that enhance augmented reality, improve display functionality, and make digital collecting more immersive. The goal is simple: remove friction, increase creative freedom, empower collectors to build something personal. Dan Crothers, COO and co-founder of VeVe, shares that vision, saying, we continue to push the envelope with augmented reality display and interactivity. Snap to location is another step forward in making digital collectibles more immersive, more playful, and more connected. This is what the future of collecting looks like, end quote. Connected environments, intentional design, interactive scenes that grow as your collection grows. This is where digital collecting is heading. And it's also built to be shared. At VeVe, we believe in collecting, and it's also meant to be shown. Digital unlocks advantages that physical alone cannot offer. You can place your collectibles in your living room, on your desk, at your favorite cafe, build scenes that move, connect, and evolve. Then you can capture them and share them instantly. Corey True, head of brand at VeVe, puts it simply by quoting, saying, "This is another step in helping people enjoy all the advantages of digital. We want folks sharing the collections with family and friends. We want them to show off their collectibles. We understand how hard that can be in AR. Snap to location makes it just a little bit easier. We can't wait to see your photos in our feed on VeVe.me and across our socials." End quote. Snap to location makes creativity more accessible. It lowers the barrier between imagination and execution. You want to see your conveyor belts filled with personality. You want to see how you arrange your lineup. You want to see your creations across VeVe.me and our social feeds. Snap into place, start building. Okay, yeah, that was pretty cool. That was great. Snap to location. I can't wait to see what it does or what else it does. Ben in Korea, thanks for being a member, saying good eye mites. Sushi x VeVe dubs. Oh, hell yeah. Can't wait. Ooh, might have drank that a little too fast. I had one before then. South Korean stock market rises over 12%, on track for the best day in history, which is great because yesterday it was down. Like, they had to halt trading because it was down so bad. People who were calling for 30K Bitcoin last week are pretty quiet right now. I did talk to a buddy of mine about this today. He had mentioned that, like, yeah, we could get up to 81K and then retest the lows. So something about us having to still retest the lows. We were at 74K at one point, down to, oh my God. Oh my God. I can't. Snapchat is great. It's good to be the king. Freaking love this game. All right. Anyway, breaking. Nancy Mace is moving to subpoena U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi for the Epstein files. Wild. Vibesman has a podcast episode 7 with very awesome real Randy Chavez available now. Please like and repost for a chance to win a digital collectible or comic generously donated by VeVe Official. You can listen to it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Yeah, I listened to the trailer. Trailer's about 1.5 minutes long, and I remember some of the I guess I said it because I hear myself. Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed that. That was a really fun podcast. Ended. Oh wow. Okay. All right. Dr. Fiddle says, "Hey Randy, looking forward to chatting with you." Yeah, what time are we chatting tomorrow? Can you give me? I have you in my calendar. But 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. You're gonna give me the link for that? Right. Yeah, I have you on my calendar. It says 5 p.m. It's on your show. It's Dr. Fidgetal's show. Clever Jerk giving me that Poe Dameron comic covers. Freaking love Clever Jerk so much. That dude is just amazing. Straight Fire. I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright, baby. I'm having the best second night of my life. Okay, VeVe gains more users. We'll go over it. All right, Nasdaq updates. Oh shoot, I forgot about that. Okay, MicroStrategy. No, we don't need that. All right, Orange Cloud. What did they do today? It's a Wednesday, halfway through the week. We're down about almost 9% on the day because we were up to. I mean, yesterday after hours we're up to like $1.30, $1.35. We came back down. Like it's just been crazy the last month, last few months. It was bananas. We were at one point down to like 80 cents, which is insane for ORKT. And then they announced the reverse merger and all that. Okay, cool. So they announced two things. Yesterday, they announced that they regained compliance with Nasdaq listing requirements, which is great. But in that article, they didn't mention anything about VeVe. I was like, okay, interesting. Like part of the entire reason they regained the Nasdaq listing requirements is because of VeVe. It's because of that announcement. It would have been nice for the article to mention that, but they didn't. But there was another article that came out. Again, this is from Yahoo. Saying Orange Cloud Technology issues update on proposed merger with VeVe. What's up, Omar? How's it going, fam? In Singapore, this is on March 3rd. Orange Cloud Technology, and I didn't go over it yesterday because I was at the OMI is my homie show. ORKT, or the company, a Singapore-based technology company offering Emobic, a no-code platform for the development of mobile applications and SaaS subscription-based ISV solutions, today announced an update on the proposed merger transaction. Dude, SaaS companies are getting fucked hard. They used to trade at like 30x earnings multiples. Now they're trading at like 10 to 15x. 10 is probably where you want to buy. AI is just taking over everything. I cannot prove this, but part of the reason for the delay, I think, is negotiating power, because David probably sees all of these SaaS companies that were trading at 30x multiples of their earnings going right down to 15, 10x. So he's probably trying to get a really, really good price, probably trying to get some. Again, I can't prove this. This is just what I see, what I think David probably sees, and what he's doing from that. Again, this is all operating with conjecture here. Again, I haven't read this article, or maybe I did and I forgot. Let's talk about it. Orbis, the globally digital intellectual property, IP, infrastructure company that enables leading brands to issue, authenticate, and monetize licensed digital assets at scale. VeVe is Orbis's flagship consumer-facing brand and marketplace, serving as a distribution and demand engine for the group's underlying IP infrastructure. As previously disclosed in the company's press release from February 11, 2026, Orange Cloud Technology has entered into a non-binding letter of intent, or LOI, with VeVe and indicated that the parties were working toward the execution of a definitive agreement on or around 28 February. That date came and went, and I was very curious. Was it delayed? Did it fall through? What's going on? The company today, which again was yesterday, had announced that while both parties continue to engage in active discussions and negotiations, both parties remain committed to the proposed transaction, but additional time is required to finalize certain terms of the definitive agreement. Management believes the discussions remain constructive and continue to work diligently with VeVe to complete the negotiation documentation process in the near term. The company intends to provide further updates upon the execution of the definitive agreement or any further material developments. And it goes on to say what Orange Cloud is, and then forward-looking statements and all that. But that was pretty much it. So everything is still on track with Nasdaq. It seems that, and again, I can't confirm this, but it seems that, to me, because that SaaS companies are just getting hecked hard, that David's like, let's drag this out a little bit. Let's see how low that stock could go. Again, the only reason they regained compliance was because of the announcement with VeVe in general. So David got them by the cojones. He was like, yeah, we walk away. You guys are screwed. You guys were probably screwed anyway, but now, got them straight in the cojones. I love David so much. And again, I don't know if that's what he's doing. It could have been something completely different, but that just seems to be a very clear-cut path of what's happening. SaaS companies getting wrecked. David has more hand. Use that hand. Again, this is just, we are all operating on conjecture. It could have nothing to do with that. It's just how I see it. So that was the Orange Cloud update with Nasdaq. Okay, OMI definitive. All right, so let's go over some Bitcoin here. Bitcoin's up about 7% on the day over the past 24 hours, because we were down to like 67.5. We were up to 74, I think. We're at 72.9 right now. And yeah, that's fine. Let's keep that going. daCat balance, do we go lower? Again, I was talking to someone earlier today and very good at charts. He's saying like, yeah, possibly go to 81, whatever. And then we retest the lows. Can we go back? And well, lows were like 59.9. Do we go back down there? Do we go back down to 50, 40, 35? I don't know. I mean, tell anyone in October, yeah, we're going to go down to, 60K, 59.9. They're like, no, we're not. But we did. Do we go down lower? I don't know. We'll see. The 4-year cycle is pretty much dead. It's all just really about liquidity. But, there was no alt season. Do we get that? Are we going into recession? We have this war. War can be good for the economy because a lot of times you lower rates. But now everything's all politicized. I feel like back in the day, Clinton, Bush was in office, in those eras, like, okay, let's do what's best for the country. Now it's like, no, screw the country. We're gonna heck the country while you're in power. When we're in power, then we're gonna do good for the country and we're gonna try to take credit. And that's both sides. That is absolutely both sides. How I know this is because we had Nancy Mace today. Oh, did I not? Okay, let me go to Nancy Mace's Twitter, because we love her. She will be coming on the podcast at some point. She does follow me. We did know each other from back in the day. I did donate to her Senate campaign back in 2016 when I was deployed. 5 hours ago, she says, Congress just voted to protect the Uniparty. Today, both Republicans and Democrats voted to keep sexual harassment records hidden from you. The establishment protects itself and never the victims. Remember their names when they ask your vote. Basically, what happened is that she wanted to get, let me go in and find this. From X amount of hours ago, not one member who voted against our transparency resolution gets to pretend they care about the Epstein victims. You voted against, to protect predators in your own government. Both parties colluded today to protect predators. Today, they voted to keep sexual harassment records from Congress buried, and they did it together. The establishment always protects itself, never the victims. Remember their names when they ask for your vote. So Nancy Mace was calling for the release of all sexual harassment files related to members of Congress, and they voted it down. For some freaking reason, more people in Congress want to keep that hidden from everybody than not. Like, how many members of Congress are guilty of this shit? Like, Jesus. Thomas Massey even requotes saying, I co-sponsored this resolution and will vote with Rep. Nancy Mace today. If your tax dollars were used to settle sexual harassment claims against members of Congress, you should know about it. Agreed. Anyway, all that to say that war, a lot of times in the past, has been very good for the economy. Now, we're not 100% sure because everything's so politicized. Get to some new comments over here. Who's saying, you think people are buying more comics or collectibles? I've been buying a lot more comics. Look at the transactions. Let me go to my friend Prita, and you take a look at the transactions that she sent me through the 19th through the 28th. We had anywhere between, you can take a look at that, 6,700 transactions and almost 10,000 transactions per day. I'm sorry, 6,000 transactions to 10,000 transactions per day. And shoot, got a messages all the time. That's a lot. And I know a lot of these are like dollar comics or even less than that. But let's take a look at Stacker here. Let's go over. Ugh, my back. Ugh, my other back. Okay. Holiday group. Somebody bought a holiday group for $12. Why did somebody buy a holiday group for $12? The commons are definitely not worth that. Okay, you have Hank the Howard. Oh, hey, there's me. Yeah, I bought that. Okay, yeah, bought that for $1.71. Avengers, Fire Moon. Somebody bought an uncommon Avengers. First appearance of Red Wolf for $12. Who the heck did that? Is that the same person that bought? Okay, this dude Fire Moon with Lucady Dukady. This must be some type of OTC deal because there's no way that a holiday Groot sells for $12 and an Avengers first appearance of Red Wolf. I don't care if it's an uncommon. There's no way that's worth $12. You have Sergey buying an Uncle Scrooge comic for $1.83. Which one is this? Is this The Origins of the Stingiest Miser of All Time? Join Grandma Duck for dinner to find out how Uncle Scrooge gained his first $1 million. I actually love this one, bro. Uncle Scrooge, he's ready to kill someone. Like, he has a gun, he has a rifle, and he's like, there's someone that's robbing the mine that he's like mining his stuff in, like for gold, and he's ready to kill someone. Like, Uncle Scrooge is about to have a body on his hands. He's about to catch a freaking. He's about to catch a charge. Anyway, yeah, that was wild that he. Anyway, Sergey buys that. So that's a comic. There's a board cube. Okay, so they're doing something funky because again, Lucady Dukady sold Holiday Groot for $12, which that's probably not even worth $3. Same thing with the Avengers uncommon, like first appearance of Red Wolf, $12. There's no way, right? But then you see Fire Moon sell to Lucady Dukady a board cube for $152. There's zero chance that a common board cube is worth 1.125 million OMI. Zero chance of that. There's zero chance of that. You know, I'm just gonna search it. What is the board cube going for? $3? Okay, $11. $11.83, which is less than 100,000 OMI. So yeah, there's no way that the board cube for whatever reason was worth 100. Something was going on there. But then you have a comic again, Sergio buying it for $1.46 from Omaha Set Hike. He has a lot of stuff that's on sale. He buys another one. Omaha. I don't know why this one. I feel like very few people want the Wizards of Mickey. Invisible Woman, Big Oz from KCBMW. So this is an ultra rare. So there's only like 1,000 of these Invisible Women. $36. Is that really? I think there's only 1,000 of them. Yeah, 999. It must have been a sub 100 because. Oh, it was number 888. Okay, so that's why it was $36 because it was number 888. Because again, the Invisible Woman is not worth that at all. Let me see what it is here. Again, there is only 1,000 of them, and it's actually worth $15 or $18. That's 155,000 only. But the number 888 is a really big, is a special one. I have one of these. I got it on the drop. I like it. It's cool. It's dope. And I forget what we got it for. I'm not going to sell it though. Yeah, $36. Okay. Anyway, then there's a Doug Mankey Batman, which sold for $3. So that's a collectible. Incredible Hulk. This one sold the blue line for $18. That's a common. That's Incredible Hulk number 181. This is one of the cheapest S tier comics that you can get. For the secret rares, they're like $400. Like for whatever reason, people, I feel like they're just sleeping on the first appearance of Wolverine. Incredible Hulk number 181 is an amazing comic because of Wolverine. You have another holiday group. Okay, this is the same thing. So it's cycled. So they only show from like the last hour. That's strange. Very strange. Let's go and take a look at some of the stuff in my vault because I want to look at. In 10 years, we all look back and realize 8% of what's in the markets right now are grails. I don't know about that. Hold on. Lucady Ducady. Yeah. He's on here sometimes. Lucady Ducady. I think that's his name. It's something like that. I don't know. Like, have him come on here. It was, hey, Randy and Dashy, do you think collectibles are going to take off even the Bitcoin market goes to 40K? Yes, but not when Bitcoin's at 40K. Like when Bitcoin's at 40K, I don't expect the comics and collectibles market to pump. I do expect, and I don't know if Bitcoin goes to 40K. I hope it does. But if it does, I think that it does have a K-shaped recovery, and you do see Bitcoin at all-time highs, either later this year or early next year. I think we do have that alt season within the next 18 months. I don't think we have to wait like another 3 years for alt season. If we do, guys, if OMI's still down here in 12 to 18 months, I will get 2 billion OMI. I'll get 3 billion OMI if we're still down at the 00012 level. I'll get that much. Like I'll get that. I'll own 20% of the Definity. 10 plus the % of the Definity token. I'll solely fund the DEVVE and FIAS. I'll again, daCat would go up to an insane amount. There'll be a daCat anime funded by, again, there's going to be a ton of stuff that happens. But yeah, I think collectibles and comics do take off even if Bitcoin hits 40, but not when Bitcoin hits 40. It's after it hits 40, if it does, and then goes on that K-shaped recovery. And then I do see it pumping after that. There's a bunch of comics over here that I'm trying to look at, but none of them are really giving me like the, oh my God, I need to buy it right now. Because they're just not. Although the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, so I've said multiple times that like you're probably going to get a negative ROI on the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl because nobody really, I don't know how many she had of her because she's a C tier comic. If you go to Sleeping Comics or VeVe Ranks comics, she is a C tier. But also, I think because she was supposed to have 12,000 common, but over 8,400 of her were burnt. So there's only 3,500. Now, granted, I only have 20-ish of her. But yeah, it's I get her because I do. Now I have, just to go through the comics that I have 223 Vengeance #1s. This is first appearance America Chavez. I've been getting a lot of her for like, well, I'll show you. Recent activity. $1.22. But before then, I was literally getting her for 40 cents. Like Vengeance #1, common. Scroll down. I was getting her for 40 cents. That is insane. That's a B tier comic of a. She has two moms, so you know the lesbians and binaries and LGBT alphabet people are gonna love her. Also, Chavez, Spanish, Chavez. Like, I there's how many hundreds of million Hispanic people in the world? All of South America, Spain, other people. Like, yeah, it's an easy language to learn. And she's in the MCU. I think she's going to do well. I think she's going to do well. So, yeah, getting her at literally at 40 cents was insane. But again, the Chavez, and then I got a bunch of her at 71 cents, 88 cents, and $1.50. I guess $1.68. But then, yeah, $1.22. So, I got that. I don't think she's ever going to be $50 a comic because there's 21,000 of her commons. But I think people would probably pay $4 or $5 for it, especially in a bull market. So yeah, I'm getting a lot. Again, 223. I am the number 2 holder of this. Barely, but yeah, the number 2 holder. After that, obviously, you have Strange Tales 110, 215 of those. First appearance of Doctor Strange. I think also the number 2 holder. I got that. Now, I was getting some of these. We go way back. Oh, it doesn't show. All right, so this says $2.17. There was a bunch that I was getting for like $1.80, $1.85. So it goes to $2.17. And then to $2.42. And then I bought one for $3.66. Because it is an A tier comic, whereas Vengeance #1, First Appearance of America Chavez, is a B tier comic, according to Sleepin' on VeVe Rank. Strange Tales 110, First Appearance of Doctor Strange, is considered an A tier comic. Like, and Comics and Crypto has it at like number 13, I believe. I'm gonna take a look at that now. Yeah, it has it as number 13, beaten out by Fantastic Four #5. Daredevil #1, Amazing Spider-Man #1. Those are other A tier comics. The S tiers, Avengers #1, Incredible Hulk 181, Journey to Mystery 83. That's First Appearance Thor. 85 is Loki. Tales of Suspense 39. That's Iron Man. Incredible Hulk #1. Obviously First Appearance Hulk. X-Men #1. A bunch of first appearances. Fantastic Four #1. Just because they have like 48,000 commons, that is listed as a B tier comic. But then MC1 and AF15. So again, just giving you guys some insight to that. They're saying once we have 1 million users plus, 10 to 30K edition size will be tiny. That's a lot of users. I mean, it's not compared to the last bull run. There's an episode of Recess where it kind of mirrors a Hey Arnold episode. And this episode of Recess might have actually come before Hey Arnold. Hey Arnold, there's a episode called Garbage Day, where the 5th graders take all the 4th graders, they put them in garbage cans, and you know, it's like a tradition, and it's not really a great tradition, but you know, it happens and teaches kids that sometimes life gives you shit, and you go through stuff, and it's just a part of life, and yeah, you go through it, and it makes you stronger. You realize that the thing that you were dreading isn't really that bad. In Recess, they do something similar with the race of kindergartners. Every 1st to 5th grader, 6th grader? Do they have 6th graders in there? 1st to 6th graders, I think, they go in and they have they get to pick a kindergartner, and they say, okay, I'm going to pick you to be in the race. I'm going to pick you to race. And what they do is they kind of herd them like pigs. They're like, okay, you mark your kindergartner, and whoever wins the kindergartner, almost like an American Ninja Warrior, like a relay race, like a thing, like whoever wins, you you know, the person that picks you gets to win, and you get praise. And there's Hustler Kid that's taken bets, And Mikey, who's like he's like a big softie. He's a poet. He's an opera singer. The character who plays Mikey actually he has a cameo in an episode of Seventh Heaven. I don't know why that stuck with me all these years, but I just recognized his voice. I was just watching Seventh Heaven one day. I was like, oh shit, that's Mikey. And the kid that plays Mikey looks like the kid that looks like Mikey from the show. Anyway, he goes in and he has there's these things called winger dingers. They're like little devil hot dogs, you know, the little thing with the flamingo. I forget what they're called. What is it? Drake's? Those hot dog. Is it called devil dogs? Drake's? Yeah, they're called Drake's devil dogs. So they're a thing called winger dingers. They look like that. And Mikey has this fact. Like Mikey is totally against the kindergartner race. And he says that like, no, I was picked last in this. I didn't like this. It just makes you feel bad if you're fat. So there's this, and Mikey's a big guy. Like he's not so little around the middle. He's very chunky, very very chunky. So he takes this kindergartner called Tubbs, and he says like, you know what? I'm gonna pick you, Tubbs, because nobody picked me, or I was picked last. I'm gonna pick you. I'm fourth grader. I don't have the first pick, but I definitely don't have the last. I'm gonna pick you. And he's like, listen, Tubbs, all I want you to do is finish. That's all I want you to do, because I didn't finish. It was very embarrassing. So we're gonna train so that you just finish. And he says, okay. Mikey wants me to finish. Big kid Mikey wants me to finish. I'll finish. And then everyone's like laughing at him. They're like, oh, this kid, he's never gonna, do anything. He's not even gonna finish, right? Like he's gonna get like dead last, even if he does finish. They're just like shitting on him. And Mikey's like, fuck you. 270 winger dingers on Tubbs. And everyone's like, that's a lot of winger dingers. Like that currency, it's like when you're deployed and the people that clean out your porta potties get kidnapped and there's no toilet paper anywhere, but you have toilet paper. I waged 200 rolls of toilet paper. Like that shit is gold. To a kid, winger dingers are gold, and 270 of them is 270 pieces of gold. These are so freaking good. So everyone's like, oh my God. They take a look at him and he's like, Mikey, that's a lot of winger dingers. Like that's your entire stash. Like, I don't know if you should be doing that. And Mikey's like, nobody believes in Tubbs, but this is how much I believe in Tubbs. So he goes to Tubbs towards the race and he's like, okay, Tubbs, change of plans. I don't want you to just finish. He pulls like his best, not Audrey Hepburn, Talia Shire. And he's like, I want you to win. Win. And then Tubbs just has his Rocky moments. Like, if big kid Mikey wants me to win, I'm gonna win. And he fucking does. Spoilers. He wins, and it's great. I forget why the reason I went onto the story. So you have 1 million users plus, these 10 to 30K edition size will be tiny. Okay, yeah. All right, now I remember why I went to the story. I feel like your 10 to 30K users or 1 million users, that's winning. Like that like you're taking like a chubby kindergartner that is VeVe saying like, yeah, 1,000, no problem. We'll do 1,000x, and we'll take our 1,000 users, we'll multiply it by 1,000, and we'll get 1 million. We'll get 1 million people. That's a lot. What I want, I'm like Mikey in this scenario, and I just want them to finish. I just want them to go from 1,000 daily users to 2,000. And then once they get that, I believe you get more Rolexes and Dr. Profits and Dr. Fuses and all of that. And you have more whales, and you have more, especially newer people that are going to try to get to level 100. Newer people that want to go in and have a bunch of MCP points. Newer people that want to go in and get a bunch of OMI. But then they look on Stacker, and then they can't keep the OMI, and they just take it and they spend it. New people that want to go in and just stack partner statues because they see a partner statue on Golden. I guarantee you, you see a partner statue on Golden auctions before the end of the year. And that gets a bunch of eyes, and they see that, like, you know, this partner statue, let's say it's a special man. Let's say it's like 1923, it's number 333, like whatever it is. They say, like, I know any random number partner statue is not going to be that, but it's still a partner statue. And there's only 4,333 of them. Dr. Profit's got like 9% of them. It's got like 400. There's going to be hundreds in accounts from back in the day that are just locked up, never to be seen again. I think you probably only have 3,000 actual partner statues that will be available, give or take. And you have multiple people, VeVe Magic, OMI Rob, like me. I only have 3, right? I have but there's people that own multiple. And they're not going to let them go so easily. And all you need is a couple of whales to be like, yeah, you know what? Just want 1%. Just want 40. Or it's like, you know what? I just want 10. I just want 5. And you just have multiple people like that. Guys, these were like going for $30,000, $50,000. Well, they're now $1,000. Now they have been lower. They have been like $700, $600. Like I've seen it. I've seen those prices. Like they have it at a certain point, and then OMI just tanks, and then, you know, now it's a really, really low thing, and people go in and buy them. So it's $1,000 right now. 8.3 million OMI. I won't get another one here. If someone listed for 7 million OMI right now, I'll buy it. If you want 7 million OMI, I'll buy it right now. Oh, well, Chavez, I have 10 of them. Cool. I'll buy them all. 7 million OMI each. Like if anyone wants to list it for 7 million OMI right now, I'll buy them all. However much you have. However much you want to list at 7 million OMI. And I don't mean 7.99, I mean 7 million. Just above the 6.9. What is that going to be right now? Probably not a lot. Let's take a look. Yeah, so it's under 900. So I'll buy them under 900. And granted, this might not be the best idea, because if Bitcoin does go to, you know, 40K, then partner stash is probably going to go even lower, because a lot of people are going to be like, heck, rip. So they might start minting much higher edition size NFTs, even something like Stiffneck Electric and Pump is the fact that there's 2 million users on like a 20K editions. Listen, every other company, every other digital collectibles company in the world has either got bought out or has failed. VeVe's obviously the clear winner. And I'd said this in 2021 that VeVe's won the decade, and they have. It's very clear to everyone now. It wasn't 2021. Everyone told me I was crazy. I was right. 2 million's a lot of users. Again, I just want them to double at first. And then once they double and they get those other people, then I think they can go in and say, okay, I mean, you see it already with the S tier comics. People were getting S tier comics for like $4 and $5 commons. Now they're all like $15, $20. And I know it's like, oh, wow, you went from 4 to 20, 5 to 20. But that's still a multiple on your money in the last couple of months. And again, the Strange Tales like that I was showing you, I was buying those for, the Vengeance #1s. I was buying for 40 cents. I was buying for 40 cents. And now they're like $1.20. And I'm still buying at $1.20. I'm buying at the top. Local top. It's not the actual top. The actual top is probably much, much higher. But yeah, I think once they get just even 2,000 active daily users, they can go on and they can say like, yeah, we're going to get, they can get a lot more after that. 7, 6. I'm going to make a video on all new Marvel Now 0.1. I was going to try to do it. I'll tell you guys a brief thing. Look at the top, like if you look at the top holders of all new Marvel Now 0.1, people like Phil D. Nice has almost 1,000 of those. That is insane. I have 97. I love Kamala Khan's. Marvel pushing her a lot, really big. But I don't want to buy her at $1.46 because I was buying her at 61 and 79 and 82 cents. You know, so I don't want to buy her here, but you know, it happened. Spotlight. Okay. Air Blues, thanks for that response. I was into collectibles in the last cycle and made some nice profits before the bear market hit. I only have a couple comments left, but I've increased my OMI holdings 10x. Yeah, when OMI goes down like this, pretty easy to 10x your holdings. I was thinking about getting into comics again. Do you think it'll be a good future investment? Most of them, no. Most of them, like Fallen Sun, The Death of Captain America. I was buying them on VeVe for $1 because that's the lowest they could be sold at. And then Stacker came out. And now you can list for under $1 and they are 68 cents. So, you know, but also they're like a D tier comic. Fallen Sun, Death of Captain America. Also, that's a pretty wicked cover. That's a cool cover. But yeah, there's 21,000 of them. It's a D tier comic. And at 67 cents now, like that's most comics are not going to do that well. There's one that I have here because again, Spider-Man Torment Part 5. Now again, it's a pretty cool cover. It's Todd McFarlane. It's puts the superstar stamp on Spider-Man with a classic story. It's cool. Was buying them at $1. On Stacker now that you can list less than $1, it's 73 cents. So it's pretty actually 68 cents. So you know things are pretty low here. So again, that's what a lot of the comics are going to be. It's like Pokemon cards. People see these like $1 million sales or 10 or $100,000 sales, but most Pokemon cards are worth less than $1. Most Pokemon cards are energy cards. But yeah, the ones that I've been now, Vengeance #1, the ones that I've been stacking is just the partially because Chavez, but partially because as a lot of people get into this, let's say you can get a comic from America for, you know, you want an American comic, you know, for $5, but it's like $5 in shipping. Oh, you know, double the amount. Like, you know, you're gonna buy a digital for $5. And you're going to stack those because you know how many there are. Like you can tell how many are graded, but you can't tell how many are out there for the physical. But for the digital, you know how many there are. And, you know, so again, that's why Strange Tales first appearance of Doctor Strange. So I bought a bunch of those. Strange Tales 111, that's first appearance of Baron Mordo, like his like nemesis. That one I've been buying for like 80 cents. They were like $1.07. Now it's still listed as a B tier comic, so it's not terrible to buy at $1.07. But I have 117 of these that I bought at like 80 cents. You know, $1.07. It's still fine to get at that. You know that. I'll tell you the ones that I really like. That like I really like. Tales of Suspense #57. First appearance Hawkeye. Let me give you that's first appearance Hawkeye. Really cool. You know, it's $1.34 on Stacker. Now I have 33 of these, most of which that I bought, I think at like 80, probably 84 cents. Oh, actually 77 cents. Oh, it's a little bit hard. I actually bought some at $1.46. So because I bought some at $1.46, I probably should buy some of these at $1.34. Which, if you buy at $1.34, Stacker does charge you a little bit more for OMI burn, so it's actually $1.37. So you have to spend an extra 3 cents, which is like nothing, but you know you can do it. So I am going to buy a few of these right now. But again, if people start listing their partner statues for 7 million OMI, I'm going to buy them all. However much they go in and do that for. But I guess that's what I'll do now because it's a B tier comic. like the first appearance Hawkeye, there's 21,000 of these commons. They're never going to go for like $50, right? Like they're never going to, like, they shouldn't. But can they go for $6? Yeah, I think they can. I think they can do a 4x from here. So, you know, I have no problem going in and buying some at these prices because of that reason. Just want to throw numbers at you. Spider-Man number 14, first appearance Green Goblin, put in 400,000 physical common 63. The highest sold Spider-Man number 14 sold for 210K. He was only minted only 70K. Spider-Man for, yeah. But I mean, again, physical commons, there's so many out there, and there's just, now I agree that number will go up, like the amount of people that are into digital collectibles, the amount that it sells for, that will, so it'll have its day. Okay, there's not a ton of these. Because one that they'd like to pair this with, Tales of Suspense number 57, first appearance Hawkeye, would be Tales of Suspense number 52, first appearance Black Widow. She's at like $2 per common. You know, these are $1.34. So, and again, I was buying these at $70 cents. So again, I think these do go pretty a bit higher. To get back to Air Blues, and again, the I'll get to that comic in a bit. I just want to buy the rest of these here, which I shouldn't, right? I shouldn't be buying a ton of these, but I will because I have a problem. And first appearance Hawkeye, Hawkeye's like one of the best Avengers. I love him. And after that, I'll this is my last one. I think I bought like 6 of them. As long as this goes through, which it should. Okay, there we go. So Marvel Spotlight number 5, first appearance Ghost Rider, or first appearance Johnny Blaze as Ghost Rider. It's $3.17. Now, this is an A tier comic. This might be, according to Comics and Crypto, might be one of the lowest A tier comics, because number 22 is Tomb of Dracula, and number 5 is Marvel Spotlight number 5. Or I'm sorry, number 23 is Marvel Spotlight number 5. Number 21 is Amazing Tomb of Dracula. Number 10, that's first appearance Blade. Number 21 is Amazing Spider-Man number 129. That's first appearance Punisher. They have actually Amazing Spider-Man number 6, which is first appearance Lizard as number 20, but that's a B tier comic according to Sleepin'. Avengers number 4 they have as here as well. Like that should also be a B tier comic according to Sleepin'. Silver Surfer number 1, also B tier comic. Fantastic Four number 48. Oh, first appearance Galactus. Silver Surfer, Galactus cameo. Yeah, it's a big one. Giant Sign's X-Men, that's an F tier comic according to Sleepin'. He actually have that as number 16. Fantastic Four number 52. Okay, so this is a big A tier comic according to Sleepin'. It's actually above an S tier comic. That's first appearance T'Challa as Black Panther. A lot of the woke people will get that. Journey into Mystery number 85 is a B tier comic that's actually ahead of Giant Size X-Men and Fantastic Four. That's first appearance Loki, right after Strange Tales 110. Give me one sec. Journey into Mystery number 85. That secret rare has got to be just a couple $100. That's actually $841. That is, I was not expecting that. I did not think it was that big. Now, back in October, you could have got that on VeVe for $99. That is insane. Like yeah, literally $99 in October. That is nuts. Okay, hold on. We got to go into a Journey into Mystery 85. Now, there were some people. Now, granted, there's not 21,000 of these commons. There's 40,000 of these commons. Now, 3 weeks ago, you were able to get these for 80-something cents, and now you can't. Now they're $1.83. I own a couple. I own like 4 of them. Right there's not a lot. Journey into Mystery 85. We're gonna do the uncommon. I think there's like 6,000 of these, 5,000 of these, $5.73. Loki's great, but I don't think that's a great thing right now. Journey into Mystery number 85. Let's do the rares, probably a couple thousand of these. 2,500, $20. You can get like a rare S tier comic for $20. So maybe not that, maybe like $28. But there's I just wouldn't do that for a Loki. Into Mystery 85, number ultra rare. Say again, so the rare was $20. The ultra rare is $23, $24. So there's the ultra is 2,000 of these. I don't know if that's even worth it, because again, you can get, this is a B tier comic according to Sleepin on VeVe rank. Ultra is 23. You can get like a rare S tier comic kind of for that price, and there's only 1,000 of those. So that's not something I would get right meow. Okay, you want to go over the Spider-Man? Shit, give me one sec. Amazing Spider-Man number 14. Let's do the secret rare. It's actually $67 for, and there's 1,400. So there is a lot of these out there. And I think this is a B tier comic according to Sleepin. So let's go to VeVe rank and we'll go to the B tier comic. So it should be Amazing Spider-Man. Wait, what? Should be number 14, right? That's Prince of Green Goblin? Is this? Oh, okay. Amazing Spider-Man number 14. So there's 70,000 of these. There's a freaking lot. Green Goblin, obviously, the Spider, you know, the William Dafoe version. 1,400 is a lot. And there's nobody has more than 13 of those. But $67 is very small. On VeVe, it's on VeVe it's $130, but there's definitely been, yeah. Back in again October, this was $34 on VeVe. You get a secret rare of this for $34. And then November happened, and you know, stuff with Stacker and stuff with other, you know, other things were going on. It's pretty low. But I mean, I won't get that just yet. Give me one sec. Amazing Spider-Man number 14. Let's look at the commons are going to be so, there's so many of them. There's 49,000 of the comics, so of course they're under $2. I have 2 of them. I don't. Yeah, I haven't gotten them. I haven't bought them in a while. It's just for there's 49,000. You know, it's a lot. Let's try the uncommon. Let's see what that goes for. $2.20. 11,550 of them. Again, that's a lot. I mean, there's not a lot of money, but there's 11,000 of them. Amazing Spider-Man number 14. Let's do the rare. I actually have 7 of the rare. And I got, but I was getting a lot of the rare at $3.42.92. And then one I got at $6.62, which was dumb. I don't know why I got that. Now it's $6.71, but I mean, I was getting for like $3, you know, the rare, because there's 5,600 of them, which again is still a lot. And the ultra rare, $13, but there's 2,450 of them. I'm not. If we can get, yeah, even 10,000 users, yeah, it'll go crazy, but we need to have a bit more than that. DB Code saying daCat, oh yeah, 100%. So let's go over daCat a little bit, because daCat's had a very nice couple of days here. So daCat's up 10% on the day, and they were up yesterday too. Now, why are they doing that? So they do have 224,000 in liquidity, $769,000 market cap. Nice. There's someone that just sold $50, but the rest of them, look at all these buys the last few days. Buy. Look at all that green. Look at all of that green. People seem to not. Okay, then there's a sell for 57 cents. But then more buys over the last couple of days. So again, we love all that stuff. But on a nice, steady uptrend over there the last few days. We love it. If we go to, been here for an hour now, daCat. Again, 9% over the day, 11% over the week, 13% over the 14 days, down 6.5% over 30 days, but up 48% on the year. So yeah, I'll take that. Good stuff. Love daCat. And we should be done with the comic soon. We love them too. I feel like people think Grails are based on IP recognition. Remember Donnie? No one knew who Donnie was before he mooned. Still don't know who Donnie is. He's one of those people that did. He's in the reboot of Powerpuff Girls. Nobody really liked him. He's like a transgender horse. He's like a horse that identifies as a unicorn. You know, whatever. But yeah, people went crazy because he was like the scarcest back in the day. Double whammy. One, he was the scarcest. And also, you can only get him if you were in China at the time. So there's only a few people that got him. But he has 10 people, you know, that pony named Donnie. One person would know, probably. In VeVe, they would all know, but outside of VeVe, nobody would. 22K floor, edition size, first appearance. Yeah, there's a lot of first. So there's actually, now I'll tell you, Stephen Pugh, Harley Quinn. $1,400, $1,800. There's a number 58 from Brockman Blockchain for $2,500, and he's not selling it for OMI. He's selling it so he could sell the OMI, so it'll be downward pressure. But he's selling it because he met someone that, you know, is going through a hard time, and he just wants to give him funds. And he does this a lot. Like he. I don't know. I'll have him on again to talk about it, but he's done this multiple times where he meets someone that just has an issue, and I was like, "Fuck it, I got collectibles. I got, you know, I'll use the OMI people's liquidity. We'll get this done. I'll sell it, and we'll get you this treatment. We'll get you this thing." And again, he does it, and he's fairly charitable like that. So that's on the Stephen Pugh. He also has a Ghostbuster Gold, you know, for the VeVe floor price is $43,000. The Stacker floor price $3,600, and somebody who has that is number 136. But then Brockman Blockchain is number 61. Would I get that? That's $1,300 over the floor. No, I don't even think I would spend $30 million on the floor, because $3,600 you can get a couple partner statues, which I think is going to be a lot more coveted than the gold Ghostbusters logo. But if you wanted one, and these Ghostbusters gold logos have gone for like over $10,000 before, $3,600. So if you did ever want one, and it's like, hey, this is my chance. By all means. And Ghostbusters Platinum, same thing. These have gone for over $10,000 before. Brockman Blockchain does have it at 75 million OMI. Now, granted, this is going to go to a good cause. I wouldn't get it, but again, if you want one and you're like, you know, it's going to go to a good cause, and you have just Uber money, yeah, go in and get it, because, you know, it is scarce. There's 200 of these freaking things, so there's very small amount. And a lot of them, Jesus Christ, Dr. Collect's got 13 of them. So, you know, that's not going anywhere. The rest have 3 each. You know that these are not, you know that there's very few people that have these, even some that did have them from back in the day, and they're not coming back. I would be surprised to see if there's even 150 of these. Maybe even like 120 or 100, because again, a bunch of people that had these, they're probably gone. I just bought 2 for, oh my God, that's amazing. First appearance mini, ultra rare, platinum moment, 2,000, 2,100 of them. And yeah. Here's the top holder, Planet Vampire. So 66. It'll go in a minute, because that, for like this is mint price. They were minted and let's go to the analytics. Yeah, these are minted in 2024 at, I think, $60. Now these were as cheap as like $37. But again, these are, sheesh. Yeah, first appearance mini is probably going to go pretty hard when the people come in. Love you, Randy, but how's 1,300 editions a lot? 1,300 editions for what? Amazing Spider-Man number 14? Secret rare? Okay, so the 1,400 editions for that is a lot compared to any of the S tier comics that only have 250 editions for their secret rare. And even like the ultra is 500, the rare is like 1,000. You know, I just think there's other things that people are going to want first. And obviously, first appearance, Green Goblin secret rare, I do expect to be hundreds of dollars in the future. But the people that come in first are going to get the other stuff first. Again, this listed as a B tier comic from Sleeping Comics. Let's see what number it is according to Comics and Crypto. It should be, you said number 14, right? Yeah. For HOTTOGO. You can, all right, it's number 44 listed by Comics and Crypto. It is above Hawkeye. It is below Kingpin and Black Widow. But yeah, people will definitely want this. People that just love the OG Spider-Man. Again, even William Dafoe fans that don't, just love it. It could be in digital size of 12, and you'd be like, she's, no. 12 is obviously very small. When I'm into 12 editions, do too many. No. They only could see a penny this year. Yeah, I mean, again, they're doing everything right. They have so much going for it. They need to have money flow into crypto. They need to have the NFT narrative kick off. Once that happens, VeVe will. And it's been speculated before that the NFT narrative could get kicked off by whatever VeVe's doing. So I do think it does happen at some point. Is it this year? Is it next year? Because God seems to hate me, I would put my money on next year. But yeah, I think it could happen within the next 9 months, 8 months. It's possible. But maybe God doesn't hate me, but just loves delayed gratification. I mean, what would work best for future me is if it actually didn't run until next year. Bloomsbury money raises money. DMA Link gets bought out, all this jazz. I get all this money, and yeah, I could buy a couple billion OMI, and then it runs. Yeah, that'd be great. We shall see. And partners reach 30K again. This, when it runs, I think it can. But again, we don't know when the NFT bull run happens. We don't know when people come in for this. With the reverse merger and VeVe being listed on Nasdaq is insane. And again, it hasn't happened yet. It might not go through, but it seems insane. Also, give me 1 second here. I'm going to have to go over some of the news here because I haven't in a couple days that I do Saturday. Saturday or not. Let's go. But yes, I think partner statue can reach 30K again, but it has to be in the NFT market has to go. And part of the reason I'm not buying partner statues now is because I think Bitcoin and Ethereum can have another downturn, and in which case partner statue can go back down to 800, in which case I'd like to buy there. But other cryptos might go crazy low, and I could just buy them too. You know, I don't know. But I do think it does in the next run, whenever that is. This chunky Pikachu third place trophy is the one I want. Iran missiles reportedly targeted Ali Al-Salam Air Base in Kuwait. That's where I was. Mohammed Pakpour was killed in a military strike. Saudi Arabia has announced to join America in the war. Against Iran. I think I read a lot of these. Iran closed the Strait of Hormuz. We went over Avatar. Okay, I think I went over Saturdays. Chamath Palihapitiya says, if, not when. He says, in my opinion, the current AI pricing of public companies is a process of asking if any future cash flows are safe. We used to debate when those cash flows would degrade in 10 years, 20 years. Now the question is if these future revenues and RPO have any value. When you start to ask if questions about companies' future, the safest thing to do is to re-rate their PEs lower, rev multiple lower, and wax higher, such that it embeds the holder with a massive margin of safety. A space shift is very important and is what currently happening. The downside of repricing is that companies that are directly in the bullseye of repricing could see valuations that approach 1 to 3x free cash flow. This will then dramatically change how these companies will deal with stock-based comp. They will drastically cut it because it has a huge impact to cash flow. This will then impact their employee retention and subsequent growth, revenues and profits, so it's a reflexive loop. Expect more downward pressure. Watching the spread between the equal weight S&P index and the index itself is probably the simplest way to measure the degree of repricing. Good luck to all the players. We'll see what happens. Hopefully VeVe can be an outlier. Scott Colantonio cost 100 million OMI with the mark of his Comey secret rare logo. The IDF carried out the biggest flyover in their history with around 200 jets hitting more than 500 targets across western and central Iran, taking out missile sites and air defense in a coordinated strike. This from Saturday. Today's Wednesday. Oh yeah, I feel like I definitely went over a bunch of this. 3.1 million OMI burned on February 28th, which was awesome. The US used Anthropic's Claude for its AI military operations during strikes on Iran. Morgan Stanley applied for a national trust bank charter to custody crypto and expand digital asset services. China is moving rapidly to solar electric future with very little need for oil and gas. Cool. All right, I'm going to have to go soon. Saudi Crown Prince has authorized the military to strike back against Iran if attacked. Abu Dhabi offers free cost of extension for tourist accommodation. While Iran kills protesters in times of war, the UAE offers people free accommodation. Trump posted that 9 Iranian naval ships destroyed and sunk. Their naval headquarters were largely destroyed. They're going after the rest, and they will soon be floating to the bottom of the sea. Draco, Crypto Robbery, and Mr. Squeebs were number 1, 2, and 3 for the week 25 leaderboard rewards. Everyone comment F down below to pay respects for the soldiers that were killed in Operation Epic Fury. We love our American troops. Sean O'Hara from Comics Crypto have claimed their $2,000 bounty for the Death Trooper E11D. Oil rises 12% to $75 per barrel as U.S. and Israel's war with Iran continues. Ferryman added a grail to his collection, DC founding year, Superman number 1934. Okay, very good. Michael Saylor's strategy bought $200 million worth of Bitcoin on March 2nd. Stacker posts that, did you know that zero taxes apply to OMI to gem conversions? But instead, OMI is burnt in the process. Saul, WGMI, says NFTs are scams, which is wild. Crypto Reels, this is very bullish for Bitcoin and alts. For the second consecutive month, ISM manufacturing PMI has come above 50%. If you look at history, every major rally in Bitcoin and alts has happened with ISM greater than 50%. This is because when ISM goes above 50, the US economy enters an expansion phase. During an expansion phase, the businesses make more money, people earn more, and spending goes up. Also, due to high income, risk appetite goes up, which results in a big rally. If ISM stays above 50 for a few more months, the crypto winter could be over soon. Dumb Clock says, everyone's talking about war, but very few are talking about how it'll affect crypto. TLDR, if prior conflict is any indication, prolonged conflict in Iran will force the Fed to lower rates sooner, boosting crypto prices. I've been talking about that. He says, war is expensive and lower rates help fund it. Agreed. Wars are funded by the government through deficit spending, i.e. borrowing. By lowering interest rates, the government pays less interest on its already massive debt than any future debt it incurs. During World War II, the Fed deliberately held rates near zero, acting as a buyer of last resort to purchase government bonds. Itself, this ensured the Treasury always had the cash it needed to fund military operations. 2, lower rates boost economic confidence. Agreed. War creates uncertainty, which typically causes businesses to stop spending. This leads to panic in markets. As we saw with crypto this weekend, to counter this, the Fed lowers rates to stimulate the economy and encourage spending. After 9/11, Greenspan cut rates by 50 basis points to fight the uncertainty, calm markets, and prevent asset prices collapsing. 3, expanding the money supply keeps the war industry running. During conflicts, the government reallocates its resources towards defense and military spending. By expanding the money supply, the Fed ensures that banks have ample liquidity to lend to these industries. This ensures the surge in Fed spending flows throughout the economy without causing a credit crunch, i.e. the private sector runs out of money because the government is hoarding it all. War isn't fun, but understanding how it affects markets is an important part of any investor's education. Bull Theory says it's unbelievable. Trump is using Claude AI better than anyone. President George Bush to capture Saddam Hussein. It took 8 years, needed 170,000 U.S. troops on the ground, $2 to $3 trillion, and over 4.4 thousand U.S. casualties. President Trump's with Anthropic's Claude captured Venezuelan President Maduro in 2.5 hours of military operation and needed 60 troops. 0 U.S. casualties, gained control of oil reserves worth $17 trillion. 2, eliminated Iran's Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei. In less than 3 hours of initial operation, 0 U.S. casualties during the initial strikes, eliminated more than 10 top officials. 3 U.S. service members were killed at a U.S. military base in Kuwait the next day on March 1st during Iranian strikes. Everyone come F down below to pay respects. 3, eliminated El Mencho, leader of the biggest drug cartel, CJNG. In 2 hours of operation, 0 U.S. casualties. U.S. private intelligence use of AI not 100% confirmed. After the U.S. strikes on Iran, Claude AI had a record-breaking day with over 500,000 downloads on February 28th and became the #1 app on Apple, overtaking ChatGPT. AI warfare is here. All right, we're almost done here. Nope, not going to go over that. Smile, good to know. Okay, when we're almost done here. BlackRock ETF bought $767 million worth of Bitcoin on March 2nd at night. The top 5 people in the run for president of 2028. Kamala Harris at 3%, AOC at 6%, Marco Rubio at 8%, Gavin Newsom at 17%, and JD Vance at 21%. Comment down below who you want to see. The SEC has officially excluded crypto from its regulatory priorities for 2026. Digital assets are no longer classified as a special risk category. WStream. Thank you. Far too kind. All right, that's going to be it for me today. Let's go over tomorrow. Collect and Connect. I'll be on their podcast at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be live on mine at 8. Everyone, please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. And that's it. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. I have stuff to do. Meow, 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 meow. Hey, Joe.